Hello, luckiest of tubers, and welcome back. Let's play some more pseudo-solo Death Knight with me, BlueAnkylo. I'm going to spend another minute ranting about volume settings here at the beginning of the episode because it is starting to ruin my life. Um, okay, so I'm talking normally right now with my audio, like my music, my desktop audio is the same as always. Pretty careful with that, it's almost always the same. Well, I say that. It's easier to balance, let's say. My microphone, however, I started recording this episode already a couple times because I noticed immediately on the mixer that my voice was coming in so quiet it was like less than the music. And I had not changed any settings between the last episode and this. It's literally just last episode, and then I spent like 10 minutes in game messing around, and then I started recording again. The way it was set up last video was the gain on the microphone itself, the volume in basically, was at 0%, like the minimum. And in Windows, I had to turn it all the way down to 30%. Usually I try to keep it around 50, but I turned it all the way down to 30, and I was still sometimes maxing out a little bit. Like, it's not perfect, so I keep trying to tweak it to get the audio the way I like it again. And this episode, those exactly the same settings was half as loud, maybe even less. So today, Windows is back up to 50%, and I've turned the gain on my microphone to about plus 25%. And I don't know. Is it going to be too loud? Is it going to be too quiet? I've made a bunch of test recordings to see. This seems mostly okay, but it might just change mid-episode. At this point, I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, all that to say, welcome back. I did do a little bit of prep work because the inventory management and money grinding, engineer problems, basically. Even pseudo-solo, I'm not sold exactly. I did do, I bought a new Onyx Greatsword, which spent some money. I made a dragon-slaying Onyx Greatsword, because there might be a dragon boss coming up. I also used the Coral Greatsword to give it, I don't know why I gave it ice specifically, just hit rate is a little bit better, whatever. It doesn't really matter too much, probably, but we have an aquatic boss coming up. And then we've still got the Ragnarok and Roll sword, as well as some other junk. And in terms of armor, I picked up... So what I basically did was I took the Thief and redid the dungeons we already did on camera with the Thief. And I looted as much as I could, and I sold it, and that's why we have the money we have. I'll show you at the bazaar or at the Oasis, whatever it's called, all the stuff I sold, because you should be able to see the rare loot there. And we found the scale armor. This is just at the bottom of Volcano. I forgot to pick it up. It's about the same as flame armor and ice armor. It's a little bit worse than ice armor, but it's about the same. And the truth is, I wanted to be able to buy all the Genji stuff, and that took a little bit of a while. I also needed to grind up more lightning and ice ore, and I just went to Marsh Cave for that. And we picked up 2 more of these special thief hats. And similarly, you cannot deconstruct these either, so garbage. For my cool plan here, basically garbage. Now, the Genji armor has no augment slots. The ribbon, the helmet is obviously worse than the ribbon, although it is positive evade, which is something unique. So it's got good absorb and positive evade, which is, better than nothing. But ribbon is way better, of course, not even comparable. So the fact that there's no augment slots here is a real downside. 100 HP is nice, but not that good. The boots are statistically worse than the mithril boots because they have no augment slots. And sure, 50 HP is a little bit, and 50% of run chance is maybe for some jobs and some builds good, but I still think it's kind of questionable. I don't know. Doesn't impress me. And I did do some testing with the Genji gauntlets here. I can't really wear them in New Game Plus. We take too much damage. Enemies getting plus 15% damage and getting a reduction in your absorb by 6, you actually get slaughtered. Even just in Volcano and Ice, just backtracking through some old dungeons to pick up some treasure. With this equipped, we took way too much damage. It was not good. So I don't know if this is viable at all. Maybe not on New Game Plus, I think it's extra bad. And we generally overkill the enemies, or at least we're close to it. And 15% extra damage is rarely enough to make any difference for us. So it usually just means we're at risk of death. So then the last thing is, does the Genji armor have any value? Well, it is technically an absorbed downgrade over a slightly boosted scale armor, which is worse than ice armor, which is way worse than dragon armor. So I think we equip this one for now, but honestly, as soon as we get dragon armor, it's probably gone. And sadly, the Genji armor is, I think it's garbage, guys. Very few of the rare crafts have proven to be worth the trouble it is to make them. I think they're underpowered overall, and they definitely need some minor buffs. Not crazy, but I think they need a bit of a bump. This Ragnarok Greatsword, pretty good. I think I was surprised that the Darkness hit worked. I know it's a 30% crit weapon, which is really good in terms of crit rate. I wish it had a little bit more base damage. I think it's a little bit on the low end for damage output, but I am on New Game Plus, so on normal mode, it probably still one-shots things pretty reliably. But you know, we just got over 128 hits, so we're getting an extra attack again. It is good, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of like, you know, it's basically a defense sword with more crit. And it doesn't do the usual Dark Knight super high damage, low hit rate kind of thing. So it's a bit vanilla in the sense that it's kind of like a normal sword with good crit rate instead of a crazy high damage sword. But it's good. I think this is one of the better crafts at the very least. In terms of rare forges, I think it's on the better side than a lot of the junk. Maybe not as good as the Enhancer, though. Anyway, I haven't done the bottle turn-in quest, so, you know, money is kind of an issue. If you want to see all the stuff I bought, or searched and sold, we can see most of it here. Giant sword, flame armor. Yeah, even this is, like, technically better than the scale armor. I just picked up all the usual stuff you can find in Fire and Ice, and just sold it, basically. Nothing too crazy. I tried to bring the thief to get all the loot, but they kept dying, and I didn't want to spend a million repels. So, because I was trying to make money. So, I don't think I got every thief searchable. Like, I didn't get the free light axe in the ice cave. There's a couple things like that that I just didn't get. But I just don't think it's worth it. I also didn't deconstruct them all to get all the crystals. They're here if I feel like I want fire and ice crystals. The thing is, it's kind of too late already. Like, I could enchant one of my... I could buy a whole bunch of Cobalt Greatswords. They are pretty great. Unlike a Great Axe, these guys are pretty dang good. This is a very, very good base weapon. And you can put... You could have, like, 4 of them for each, you know, element. Like, a fire one, an ice one, a lightning one, a something else one. And just switch them based on what dungeon you're in or what you're fighting, and it would totally work. But that's a lot of money, and honestly, it doesn't really. Do I have enough heal potions? Yeah. Okay, let's get moving. Oh, I guess we should do ordeals first. Technically, yeah, we could do ordeals while we're on this side of the world. Seeing as it doesn't really give us anything, but we can just zip through it real quick. I don't mind getting a couple levels or anything. It's fine. If we're gonna keep our luck maxing, though, we have to be a little bit careful. There's not like our base luck growth is so bad on average that you remember at level 50 we need like 66 luck, I think, to have perfect run chance. We've got 17 level ups. We need 12 of them to have luck to stay ahead of the curve. Otherwise, we won't have a 100% run chance for Tofu. And I would like 100% run chance. The trouble is these dungeons give so much XP. I guess I don't have to get to level 50, so maybe that's the thing, is we try to get to the final dungeon without actually maxing out, maybe? I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about no repel Topher, let's just say. 12,000 to go. Let's get a level up out here, force a luck level, and then we'll get in there. Ooh, a 400 damage Solis. Nice. There are still a couple more tricks to do with the thief, especially in the final dungeon, that is to say, specifically. That's a lot as well. Big group. This will definitely be a level up. I don't know what level we're at anymore. I don't really... for all we know, every level up is either no stats or strength agility, basically. So don't expect a lot. And we basically have to reset to get the luck for the most part. So. And even just a random couple fights using Soul Eater, it's a lot of... It was just strength. It is a lot of heal potions to heal up if I do this. So, like, I don't think we can really use Soul Eater in the final dungeon. It's too much. It doesn't reliably kill stuff, really. And, I mean, yeah, we died. Literally died. Even here, just... I mean, I didn't heal to full, but these are just saber-toothed tigers and catmen, and they're too much for Soul Eater, basically. So, you know, getting this late game maybe isn't even that valuable. It's an early game kind of ability to some degree. All right, agility and nothing. Great. Well, I'm sure we'll get a luck up eventually. You know, it won't take that long. Famous last words. Not to say our single target damage is bad. I mean, this is our 30% crit sword, which, you know, it's got some variation, vitality and nothing. What am I looking? The deviation is high. You know, any crit weapon can. It's kind of like how the Vorpal sword worked, although the Vorpal sword was way worse actually in terms of base damage. But strength, vitality, nothing. I'm trying to say yeah, basically the distribution is high. It can roll fairly low, but if you get like maximum crits, then it's absolutely crushing it. So there's a luck level, good enough. I mean, honestly, the strength level's probably better. Just with this weapon, especially a crit weapon, every 2 points of strength is even double value because you get crit so often, and you know that's even better. But it's fine. Yeah, we took a lot of damage here. I wish houses just full healed you. That's a randomizer nicety. I don't even think it's overpowered. Houses are so expensive, they might as well just full heal you. Okay, so the goal is to get through here without leveling, or at least only leveling once, basically. It's an optional dungeon in New Game Plus. I mean, this is our first casting item outside of the defense sword. First offensive casting item, but it's mostly worthless. I guess, in theory, with a... because we have an engineer available, we could take the crystal out of the Zeus's glove, put it in a weapon, and then we'd have Lightning 2 access easily for water, but we don't need it. I don't. Honestly, this dungeon's almost most valuable for just getting some money for selling. I think the healing staff is worth a fair bit, the ice sword, the gold bracelet. There's just some good value in here. And there shouldn't be anything that can cause us any real risk. And there's some junk as well. Now, I could use the gold bracelet to build a Genji bracelet, but I'm kind of tired of Genji gear, honestly. It's not... I don't think I have to worry about these dragons. I could have equipped my dragon killing sword, but... Blinding sword's pretty cool, too. Okay, done. You're welcome. We did a bonus dungeon. And yeah, if we brought the thief or the ninja alive, we could have gotten an assassin dagger and a harp and I don't know what else there was. Just I don't think there's anything really worth going back for. Saurias probably count as dragons too if you're in the dragon biz. I'll try to remember to switch over to the appropriate weapons when we fight the Kraken and Tia. But I don't promise anything, I might just forget. Yeah, I have to say, Soul Eater has not scaled well enough. Even with, like, we are very close to maximum HP, although, I mean, technically we break the cap. But, we are not actually one-shotting things at all. So, on New Game Plus, you get to start with it, and it's pretty good in the early game. But by the mid to late game, it just causes too much damage, you know, to yourself. Not enough damage to the enemy. Wait. What I mean to say is you hurt yourself too much, and you hurt the enemies too little, because they've got too much HP, and unless you've got a green mage or something to heal yourself. That was a good level up, but I'm gonna try to get some luck levels while we're out here, because you know when we're in the last couple dungeons, we're not gonna be resetting for luck anymore. There it is. Good. That's a good level too. Yeah, we need about 10 more points of luck if we want to stay ahead of the curve. We're okay for now. This fight, I don't know, this sucks. Can we just reflect kill them? Oh, we could have ran away, I guess. But... this is just vengeance. Dread Spikes still sucks. It's, it wears off if the total HP is 50% of your max HP. That needs to be... this is such a niche ability that's so bad in most compositions. Solo Death Knight New Game Plus is the optimal place for it, and the amount of HP it drains is actually not enough. Because it caps at 50% of your max HP, so the most it can do is 500 damage. Which is almost nothing at this point, right? So... I think that... I don't think it's the weakest of all... I'm just gonna try to get to it in. I'm tired of heal potion chugging. I don't think it's the weakest limit there is, but it is not a good one. It's pretty bad. Okay, we have heal potions. We are fully healed for the next dungeon. We've done everything else. 16k to a level up. Well, you know, we're not going to get perfect luck unless we perfectly avoid everything. I don't think there's any real reason to bring the... oh, can't run. Great. Yeah, fights like this are what's going to push our level up accidentally. But I don't think there's a reason to bring the thief into this dungeon, basically. Actually, what I'm scared about is the ghosts. They're going to hit really hard. Without using repels, I know. Crazy. Do I get the opal armor? I don't think we can actually equip it. We can only equip dragon armor, as far as final set goes. Light axe is basically... hey, we got that luck randomly. Nice. Probably randomly. I'm not looking at the list. The mage staff is mostly worthless. There's not much in here that I really care about, other than the, you know, plot required stuff. Honestly, opal bracelet kind of better than Genji armor. Oh, I'm just gonna drop this stuff. Running out of space again. Because I decided to hold on to all this Genji junk. I guess we don't need to hold on to the scale mail, really. We'll be getting better armor anyway. I could have sold some of this, but there's not much left to buy. Unless we're gonna do some more forging. We're kind of past the point of worrying about it too much. I feel like most of this run, I haven't had enough gold. And technically, I haven't even bought my final spells, so... that's mostly because they're bad, but... we can spend a lot of money on all the magic. I guess. Death Knight? It's really the engineer, I think, that made me broke. The Death Knight's a fairly expensive job with both magic and heavy weapons and armor. But it's the engineer's crafting of mithril stuff that really breaks the bank. And it's not the tools. Like, the tools are nearly negligible in expense overall. But forging that mithril stuff... and honestly, the Genji gear isn't cheap either. The Genji armor was 45,000 for the steel armor, plus a bunch of other stuff, ores and all that. And then I think... yeah, here we go. This is where we have to defense up, I think. We're gonna need like 3 uses of defense and hope that we get there before they kill me. I don't think there's any other way to fight these ghost packs. There's no way we have an AoE that can kill them. There's nothing that will come anywhere close. The limit's not gonna do anything. This won't work. This won't work. So we basically just... I mean, with the right weapon, we can probably kill 1 per turn. I think without the evade maxing, we would just be dead. So there's definitely some random encounters that on New Game Plus are kind of nearly game overs unless you get good turn order and a little bit of luck. This is probably one of them. I mean, ghosts are terrible anyway in most solo runs, but specifically New Game Plus as a Death Knight with no real way to kill them quickly. I think Fire 3 is likely to one-shot them still. Especially with a high-level Black Mage that has all kinds of tricks, but better not die to one Wizard's Hawk. Strength, Agility. Okay, we lost another luck point there. Just get enough to get outside. Okay, good enough. Alright, I don't really want to do super long Final Fantasy VI boss music. Okay, just happy rest music. That's perfect. Okay, I don't think there was any magic here that would make a difference. Power Word Blind is pretty bad. Only works on low HP enemies. At that point, you just kill them. Okay, let's give this a try. Awesome start. I mean, actually not bad. I'm just gonna try to run from pretty much everything, like a classic casual scrub. I guess not really casual, but the usual strat of just being like, this is dumb, run away from everything. Because this is New Game Plus, I think in normal mode, Bio 2 would be likely to kill most Arsa Hogs, but they're pretty bumped up in this. But I actually don't want to use Soul Eater at all, unless it's an emergency. It just takes too much damage. Now, I suppose in preparation for Temple of Fiends, I should start thinking of trying to use Blood Sword to heal up rather than heal potions. Because we do have a self-sustain. Let's give this a try. I don't know if I like it. Lobsters still hit pretty hard. This might not be the best fight for it, but let's see. We immediately lost everything from a crit. This is not looking incredibly helpful. So the fact that it only lasts 2 turns is really dumb, actually. I think you lose a turn, and then you have 2 turns of lifesteal. You know, like, I know we're on New Game Plus and things aren't always balanced, but I guess it's better than Heal Staff healing. You know, it does heal a significant amount, but well, I guess maybe lobsters are just bad in. I think you have to, if you're gonna use that to heal up, you have to pick your times a little bit more carefully. But it might not be that bad. Maybe it's not that bad. Yes, this is where having the Zeus's glove ready would be helpful. On the other hand, they're running away anyway. Might even have a couple die to poison damage if you're lucky. Then again, they're so weak it barely matters. Always the dumbest unrunnable fight in the game, I think. I can't really think of anything that's worse than getting stuck with Arsa Hogs that are super out-leveled by this point. Okay, what do I want to do on this floor? Power Glove, unlikely to ever get use. The good news is even one use of Ruse is basically enough to not get hit hardly at all. I'm pretty sure we need 3 for max evade because our normal evade is pretty low. But you need like 80 or something to get away with 2. Well, how many more levels can we afford? We currently need, I think, 54 luck for max run. Yeah, we're running out of luck pretty quick now in these dungeons. We just level up too fast. It's too hard. unless you want to stat max to 50 on the overworld, like luck max to 50, you're gonna lose your huge buffer once you start doing these final dungeons. You just get way too much XP. You can just brush this guy down. I guess waters would be good. Defense up and then blood sword. I don't know, maybe this fight too. The Wizards of Hogs might be worth enough, I don't know. And the Arsa Hogs run away. We're playing Shadow's music. He should get a power-up when this music plays. Yeah, okay. So don't forget about your skills, even if they're usually not very helpful. When you're talking about sustainability, we do have a way of healing and continuing on. Oops, I meant to run that one. Maybe we chop a couple of these guys down quick. Just use the sea snakes to heal at the end? I still think running away would have been better, but... yeah, this is probably how we have to do Topher. If we're not using repels, we have to be pretty selective on which fights we can do this on. We didn't even one-shot it, man. That's brutal. Yeah, the amount you get healed back isn't super consistent. 45. So we got like 250 that time. That was pretty good. What is a sea snake's HP on this New Game Plus? 448. I feel like we got more than 224. There's some funky business with how the math works on half lifesteal. I think it's like half of the damage you deal up to the enemy's current HP. So if you did 1,000 damage, but the enemy only had 500 HP, you just get 500. But if you did 1,000 damage and the enemy had 250 HP, you'd only get 250. Right? So overkill damage does help up to double the enemy's HP, right? Like, let's say an enemy has 500 HP. You do 500 damage with this, I think you heal 250, and the enemy dies. If you did 800 damage to the 500 HP enemy, yeah, another luck up, good. If you did 800 damage, I think you'd heal 400, because the enemy has 500 total. So, basically, up to double the HP max is valuable, I think. Not, like, 100% sure. Yeah, the classic waters can't run. They do enough damage that you basically want to defend up to max. I believe the only rule for lifesteal is it doesn't work on undead. Maybe mechanical, but elementals I think you're allowed to use it on. We'll test it out. We're finally using some of our skills that I never use. All this and we're just going to die to the Kraken anyway. Awesome. Should we Dread Spikes turn 1? Or should we just defend for turn 1? Or do we just attack? Don't forget to change weapons. Come on, time wasting. This is probably going to get me another level up or something too. I mean, maybe the level ups are good. On one hand, I'm like, uh-oh, we might die. But maybe we should get the levels, you know. Getting some boss battle music a little early here. This is what? Final Fantasy 2? 2 or 3, I forget. Yeah, I mean, the sustainability with lifesteal, as long as you're fighting enemies that do less damage than you can steal the life back, you're fine. Zero gain level there. We are 3, maybe 2 points of luck ahead of our run cap. I think we hit level 50 before we get to Chaos, no matter what we do. Like, I don't think there's any way we can get there without repels, I guess. Without hitting our level cap. I guess that's fine. I might just grind the luck levels after this fight then, assuming we do this. On the other hand, we do have over 1,000 HP. A lot of junk to sell. I don't think there's anything else I would change. Oh, right, there's one thing. We want Aqua Killing? Is that 61 with a lot of attacks, over 128, or 81 for, I guess that's just one less hit. That's probably worth it. 20 more damage for one less hit. You do lose some crit chance, but it's effective against Krakens, so that should help. You're not gonna blind it though. That's an effect. Could just go Bane strats. You can also steal 10% of their HP. Is that enough? Is the Kraken strong enough for that to be helpful? I can steal 160 HP. What a garbage spell. That's not enough. I guess we try this. It wasted its first turn and its second turn. I guess that means we win. Yeah, at this point it doesn't even matter. We've got the limit as protection and all of our stacks of ruse up, so sure. I guess I'll just play around. Well, let's see how much damage we can do. Almost 800? That's half of its HP in one hit. It's not bad. Yeah, might as well. Seeing as it just wasted its turns on ink, that just, I mean, it's kind of a down, it's a letdown, basically. It's like, you win, but none of your strategies made any difference. The boss just, I mean, I guess getting rused up made sense, but for the most part, we could have just attacked and won, honestly, because it didn't do anything, you know? I'm pretty sure just regularly attacking it 2 or 3 times would have won, in which case, that was the easiest solution. And it is a Kraken thing. If it attacks, it's really bad, but if it uses its skills and spells, it's kind of a chump. Okay, we're over 1,000 HP, you know, this should be... I mean, I guess it's like nuke damage, it's just... You gotta heal it up. You gotta heal yourself up. Do we just get our luck above 66 here? I kind of think we do. I might buy some tents again for easier grinding. Where do I want to grind for luck stats? Something that we can save by... Maybe near a town would be better, because if I do use Soul Eater, I have to heal a lot. Let's buy a bunch of tents and stuff. It's a very intense episode, I know. Hopefully it's not a contentious episode. Let's sell some junk while we're here. I know my inventory's full. So. Yeah. We can't equip Opal stuff as a Death Knight for some reason. I mean, I can equip the Opal bracelet, just not the armor. That's all of that. Honestly, these things I should probably get rid of too. But... Well, is there any reason to hold on to... I mean, Zeus's glove, we could just deconstruct it. Yeah. Okay. I'm just trying to clean up inventory space. And sometimes the engineer's pretty good for that. Because then we can always rebuild it if we want it again. There's nothing valuable on those. I think we just sell them. Kind of a waste of money when I crafted them in the first place, I guess. The heal staff, especially with my blood weapon, absolutely useless. Mithril Greatsword, never gonna get used. Crimson, very unlikely to ever get used, but I'll keep it. Sword Chuck's very unlikely to get used. Ice Sword for sure. Ancient Dagger for sure. Okay, good enough. We've got enough inventory space for now. Which is all I really care about, is having room. Okay, I was gonna switch back to the Ragnarok and roll. That's a StarCraft 2 reference. Maybe they're copying someone else too. I don't know. Okay, Onrak, Gaia. Oh, I mean, we could do our fetch quest while we're doing this. While I'm trying to get those luck levels, let's go to Lefane first. I know we got to get Sydney killed again, but. Okay, we're gonna get a level up immediately. So the way I want to do this is get Sydney killed. And then run away. So that we can save with Sydney down. Sorry, Sydney. Just easier for leveling. It's probably faster to soul eat here. So I think the formula, strength, agility, nope. I think the formula for Soul Eater is 10. Because if you, I've tested out. If you have 1 HP, it can't consume anything, so it does about 10 damage. I think it starts at a baseline of around 10, and then adds the amount of HP that you lose. So not 20% of your max. It's like if you go down to 1, it won't kill you. But it will count the amount of HP. Like, let's say you had 1,000 HP total, but you're down to 100. It will consume 99 of it. I believe that gives it a base power as a spell at 10 plus 99. So 109 in that situation. However, if we're not at very low HP, right now it should be 200 and a little bit. 205 or something, whatever. That should be the base power of the attack. And I think it is affected by your intelligence like a spell. So right now we should get 14% extra on top of that, I think. I'm not sure on the intelligence scaling. I'm pretty sure on the 10 plus the percentage of life, or the amount of life consumed. I have been watching the numbers a fair bit, you know, while I'm grinding away. And I feel like that's got to be pretty much it. Because right now, 20% is 220. What's 20% of 65? 10, 13? So we are looking at 213. Let's say 223. And then if it does damage, like double, like maximum damage roll on that would be 246. If we see anything higher than 246, then I'm pretty sure this is the formula and you just add your intelligence. If 246 is the literal maximum, then no intelligence scaling at all. I think. That's my theory anyway. Yeah, we're gonna get the best spell there is. Enchant Darkness. We are the darkness now. Now you can give Death Elemental instant death for yourself if you want to spend a turn setting it up. Let's Death Elemental death. Just in case you don't kill something, you have a chance to kill it if it's not immune to dying to death. I know, great commentary. I suppose this area isn't too bad for grinding. It's basically the Peninsula Power, just further north. It is a classic grind. It would just be better if the Lefane had a town you could heal in, like an inn. That'd be great. So if we're looking at basically 200 base power, which is I think about where we're at, like 220 or something, right? That's a nuke. A nuke is a 200 power spell. And then Black Mage scales even higher. It's probably better on a Black Mage than like a 200 base power Black Mage plus, you know, 50, 60 intelligence is going to scale higher. Plus they roll the half damage less often. But it is non-elemental, so it's a pretty similar style effect. I did not save it. Good, I thank you for running away, actually. I didn't want to kill him. I wanted to go heal up. I think we're just going to grind outside of Gaia here. It's close to a town. It's nearly Peninsula Power. Not Not exactly the same, but the enemies here are still pretty good for XP. And not particularly dangerous. Intelligence, vitality, luck. Oh, nice! How many more do we need? And we need a lot. We still need like 6 more points of luck. We are only a couple points to spare for our perfect run. That's too bad. Maybe it's still better to like fly down here. I could do now vampires aren't very good for us. We don't have an easy way to kill them. The first floor of Mirage, you can rig some vampire battles, but not sure that's what we want. So if my math is correct on Soul Eater, you know, you might think, well, Genji armor should make it way better. Trouble is, on New Game Plus, the enemies just have so much HP that an unbuffed nuke is still not enough, and our regular attack is, you know, a lot better. I mean, it's not AoE, but you're just killing one thing for sure. I would usually take over, you know, half killing a bunch of things that didn't run away. I guess we don't always one-shot, so there's that. I think that's just the Ragnarok problem. It's a crit-based weapon, you know. If we fail to crit, and the enemies survive. It is kind of a shame we're over level 40 and not reliably one-shotting Giant. I guess one more level up, we get another swing, I think. So there's that to look forward to. 160 hit is honestly quite crazy. On a Death Knight that has high damage strength. You know. Strength, agility, no. $440. That's pretty close to my theoretical max. Certainly outscaled Bio 2. I wish we had Bio 3. Why don't we get a level 3 Bio on Death Knight? That wouldn't be too crazy, would it? Oh man, another great level. Just reset for perfect stats like we're playing Fire Emblem. I might be guilty of doing that occasionally too. If there is a way to save scum perfect stats, I've thought about it. Some games are easier than others. Used to try to do it in Shining Force, like the old Sega game. It's not easy. There's sort of a system in that game where it rubber bands you to your average. I forget the exact the way it does it, but it's like when you see a level up with really high stats, it doesn't actually mean you got lucky. It means your past level ups were unlucky, and this is it catching you up to where you should be. And if you basically reset until you get good level ups, it just keeps you at. It doesn't get you ahead of the curve. It just keeps you at the curve. It's very hard to get ahead of it, as far as I understand, because there is sort of like an expected value for each level. Like if you're a level 15, whatever, warrior or something in Shining Force, the game expects you to have a certain stat for a certain character anyway. And if you're below that, it increases the odds of gaining bigger. At least that was Shining Force 1. Shining Force 2 is a little different. It's more normalized. Maybe you could reset for better stats in that one. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I don't like how everything runs away. I mean, this is the classic grinding problem at high levels. The fact that we don't get a turn and the enemies all run away, and then we don't guaranteed one-shot them anyway is a bit frustrating. I mean, we're still, to be fair, I would have killed to get to level 50 this quickly back on the NES. Like, between the speed hacks and the general XP modifiers and stuff we're in here, like, this is still... I really shouldn't complain about how long this takes, because I used to grind to 50 plenty of times on the NES, and it took usually multiple days of work. It's not... I mean, I was a kid, so I probably wasn't super optimal, and also I couldn't play all day because school and homework and parents and shared TV in the living room and all that. But I'm pretty confident it was a significant number of hours because it was just so much slower to play, basically. And we don't get triple XP. It's not New Game Plus, and usually you have 4 people, which is a quarter of the speed of XP. In fact, probably even less than a quarter of the speed. I would have probably been fighting in the Sea Shrine or something right now to get my levels if I was Kid Ankylo. All right, luck. Sure, good enough. How are we doing? 62? Yeah, I mean we're getting there. This is only to make sure we have perfect run chance during Topher. Like, we could just go do the last couple dungeons and we would just hit level 50 naturally, I think. But we probably wouldn't keep our luck above the 100% run threshold. So, ooh, a 490, a 516. That's a new record. We're currently at 220 plus 10 theoretically, assuming I'm right. That puts us at 230 base spell power, which should max at 460. If you added 15% on top of that, I think that puts us right around 516 as a upper bounds, or approximately upper bounds. So I think that probably proves that if my formula is right, its intelligence does factor in, and it's the amount of HP sacrifice plus a small flat amount to start with. Because I'm pretty sure I've seen a 1 HP, like a zero consumed HP, still does like 10 damage. It's not literally nothing. All right, I feel like we might have the formula for that. What is the maximum theoretical max HP you could get? I mean, with perfect vitality growth, plus all the Genji gear, because I know we could hit 999 on a Death Knight just via leveling, but assuming, like, I don't know how this works. This says it breaks the cap. Does this mean our natural HP can grow over 999 as well? So that we could have more than 1199? Like, if that's true, then you really would want max vitality, like basically level 1, eat all the bats. Try to get good vitality levels every single time. Try to get good HP, because there's a 1 to 6 range every level. Eat the 5 bats with max vitality in the Temple of Fiends. And then hopefully that puts you over 1,000. And then Genji set, you can get, I mean, theoretically, you could get 200, 300, 400, is that correct? Yeah, 400 HP from Genji. So I think at least, you know, 1399, but maybe a bit more depending on how that mechanic works. And then you could be bubbled, which would give you, theoretically, another 50% from a green mage. That would put you... I don't think bubble stacks. Like, I don't think you can keep using it. But the first bubble should give you 50%. So if you were at least 1,400, I think at the very least, you can get 1,399 plus the bubble of 700, which puts us over 2,000. If you can squeeze out a little bit more from level ups, that would be pretty cool. I don't know if that's true or not. But I'm going to say around 2,100, maybe a couple hundred more if you're really lucky and it happens to work that way. But let's just say 2,100 for math's sakes while we're grinding this out. That would be 20% of over 2,000. That'd be 420 plus a little bit. Let's say 420. That's like a double nuke. That's getting close to Bahamut tier damage, I would say. I forget the power on Bahamut, but it's more than that, I think. Around 420 plus your intelligence. I mean, you'd want to max your int as well if we're really going all in. So our maximum intelligence, we actually get really bad intelligence growth. So you could probably hit 60 or 70 intelligence between the bats and you know, the very obnoxious stat maxing that would take a ton of work to max vitality and int and probably strength, agility. Like, just to get all 5 stats every level would be absolutely insane. But if you just did vitality, intelligence, it'd be doable. Slow, but doable. What am I thinking? 20. What I say the base power was? 4. Let's say pushing 450 for the spell. That's a 900 damage max before intelligence. Let's say you can get your intelligence up to about 60. I think that's a 30% boost if I understand correctly. So a 900 max roll could go up to 1200, maybe not quite 1200 max. That's a bad level. Well, a good level except no luck. If you had Soul Eater hitting for effectively like 600 to 1200 damage, something in that range, you know, that would be pretty cool. It would require being bubbled to do it, which is like a level 8 green magic spell. But that might be something fun to play around with if you guys want to really min-max to the ends of the world. Yeah, you'd have to. That's some stat maxing that would take a lot of work, and also HP maxing as well, which is another a different kind of problem, I suppose. Strength, agility, vitality. Strength, luck, good enough. Although I would say again, Death Knight might be the most fun, or Dark Knight might be the most fun to stat max. If I ever did another one, I mean, it would be brutal for the levels where he gets no stat gains. I don't know if I care enough about agility to stat max his agility, but maxing his strength, like, look at the crazy number. Like, the damage values are insane. And then vitality and intelligence are fun because you can max his Soul Eater damage. And then luck is fun to max because you get over 100% run chance. That's honestly more interesting than most units that, like, stat maxing is, you know, fun, but this guy gets value from basically every single stat max, which is unusual. Not very many people care about all 5 stats. How many more do I need? I need, like, 2 or 3 more luck points to be confident. And then we go. Today's episode might just be a little bit long. I'm going to make sure we get through Tiamat today, I think. I could have also gone and picked up the Dragon Armor. That would be a slight upgrade for this grind. Well, Absorb upgrade. It would be a Soul Eater downgrade. Yeah, Tyros are going to just run away now. Oh, you know what? I never did our side quest, did I? Hold on. I should do this while we're at it. I forgot. Okay, that's one question too. If you had a 2000, like if you could get over 2000 for your max HP, I have no idea how the special skill, the quest skill works. It says the lower your HP, the more damage. I don't know if that's like a percent or a like number of HP lost calculated, right? Like if it's percentage wise, it doesn't matter your max HP at all. It just being low proportionally is good. Oh, I actually already did it. Never mind. I mean, not too surprising, I guess. I thought you had to talk to him first to enable it, but yeah, we've done it. So now we have Misery, proportionately with how low their current HP. Like it could just be not a it might not be the amount of damage lost. It could just be 10 HP, 5 HP, 20 HP, 100 HP, but whatever your current is, you do a different amount of damage based on the number. It could be percentage of max. It could be how much damage you've lost. So having like a 2000 maximum and 1 HP would be absolutely mind-bogglingly high damage. Or it could be the same as 1% or just 1 anyway, right? Like, there's a lot of mechanics there I'm not sure about. But anyway, we picked it up. And you could definitely try to combo that with just all damage plus 15%, because that should also work. In fact, that should work with Soul Eater as well. So you could take your 600 to 1200-ish range theoretical maximum, and then add another 15% from... This is very silly theory crafting here, but I mean, I need something to think about. It's still not necessarily as good as just attacking, but because like I guess it's not too bad. I don't know. I guess if you use bubble, I guess I have to try to do a full party composition with Dark Knight and Green Mages of some sort. Somebody with a blind spell, and then a way to do bubble, so that I can, because the idea is if you're bubbled, it's kind of like temporary HP. So if I hurt myself with bubble HP, I don't have to heal it later, basically. Unfortunately, it's just an endgame trick. It doesn't even matter for 99% of the game, basically. Unfortunately. But, wow, that was nothing. Useless. Our ability to sweep giants is still not very good. Still just attack, right? Funny. Okay, it's time for a level up. We only need a couple more luck levels and then we're done. Some good boss music while we're doing it. A nothing level. Int, fight, luck. Good. I mean, the vitality basically does nothing at this level. Yeah, it literally, unless I get 3 more points, and then level 50 I get 1 extra HP. It's, yeah. Okay, 2 more points of luck for sure will do it. So 2 more levels. If I hadn't had so many dungeon level ups where we had no luck, I'm pretty sure we could have had 66 luck, which I believe is all we need at, you know, probably level 35 or 40 or something, but, you know, I didn't do a dedicated grind. Well, to be fair, for this solo challenge, I was trying to get through it without hitting level 50 before Ice Cave. You know, that seems to be the problem with solo runs lately. And I did succeed, right? We made it through Earth, Ice, basically all the promotion stuff, before over-leveling. The thing is, basically just by killing things on New Game Plus in solo, like if you're not repelling, basically, also this is the wrong move, but because it doesn't work on Zombies. Ooh, 2,500 damage to a blind troll. That's pretty cool. I feel like I did a pretty good job of showing off a normal level. That wasn't even blind. That was just 2,300 damage. Like, that's some black belt level damage there, guys. I mean, Ragnarok's a new weapon. I definitely have never played with this before. It's not boosted by any kind of augment. This is just a basic Ragnarok. And it's just really good crit. I mean, this is why at high levels the black belt is the best DPS. He would have 46% crit right now, which is even better, of course, but 30% is high enough that, you know, we have the ability to go into the crazy luck, the crazy damage values. Another luck point. Alright, 1 more luck, and I'm confident that's enough, and our strength is honestly insane. That's higher than any fighter gets, I believe. So, cool. Yeah. I mean, in theory, actually, I think the Ragnarok is his best weapon. I mean, the Massa is always a thing, but Massa doesn't have the crit. It's not as guaranteed, but we're a very high strength class with good hit percent growth. So the only stat we're kind of missing is crit, because we're going to do a lot of base damage, and our hit rate tends to be good. Now, you can sacrifice some hit rate for a higher damage, and that is usually a pretty good trade when your hit rate is so high. But, I mean, we can get to 128%. That's 1 hit less than above 160. And I would say probably 20 damage base is worth 1 swing and 10% crit. And the Onyx Greatsword could have 5% crit more as well. We could be within 5% crit of this if we got rid of the Dragon Crystal. And we'd have 22 base damage higher, which is pretty significant, because crits, you know, double your base damage. So, and ignore armor, so it's crazy, right? I'd say that's probably worth missing one swing. Anyway, but inflicting darkness is still a nice, like, it works more than I thought it would by a long shot, honestly. I didn't think it would ever apply to anything other than like an imp, but we've been getting a lot of darkness afflictions. Now, if that can hit chaos, that'd be pretty funny. I don't think he's immune to dark. He tends to be immune to like silence and confuse and stuff, the things that really disable him. Dark is usually a pretty minor debuff. Let's see how our Soul Eater is scaling here. 400, 422. I guess you could also watch for the minimum damage rolls. I usually prefer to count the maximums because it's more exciting. But if my math is right, then our minimum damage should be, I guess we're at like 200 plus 30, so 230 plus maybe 10, assumedly, so 240 power, maybe with your intelligence scaling again. Puts us around 250 base, give or take, maybe a little bit higher. So the lower, the minimum damage roll, well, enemies can usually resist for half as well, is part of the complication. That's why calculating minimum is sometimes tricky. 542. Yeah, that's still higher than double my 20% of my life used, basically. I mean, it's pretty cool. Certainly, if you were playing on normal mode, Soul Eater does enough damage to... oh, we got another luck point. Nothing else, but... Alright, one more... Or no, I'm good, right? Yeah, 66. So even at level 50, it should be... 50 plus 15 is 65. And 66 luck is always higher than 65, so it should never fail to run, I believe. Alright, the rest of the levels don't matter. If we get good level ups, that's cool, but it doesn't matter. Was that worth it? I don't know. I guess it's better than going into Topher and failing a 99% run chance or whatever, so... may as well. Alright. I think I just wish Blood Weapon worked the turn you selected it. Like, maybe it did, like, half damage. I feel like I would want to rework that, that skill a little bit, you know? Lifesteal is good, but wasting an action to set it up is rough. Because if you want to heal now, you know? In solo, it's even more... Action economy is a big deal. But in a group, it's still would be better to just cast Cure on them, right? If you need to get healed. This is like you expect to take a lot of damage, and then you use it, and then heal back up. But you don't know who the enemy's going to target, so it might not work. Unless you have a way to taunt, then there's hard to know that you can use it before you take damage. Do we need the Aegis Shields? Vorpal Sword? Anything else? No. The only thing in here we care about is probably... I mean, there's a Buster Sword I'll pick up. But it's probably just the Dragon Armor. I suppose being level 50 is cool as well, because a lot of enemies will run. Even in the final dungeon. I mean, there's going to be a few. 18,000. Yeah, you think we could get through here if I didn't run from everything without hitting level 50? Like, it's impossible. I suppose New Game Plus, I pretty much always rappel through these dungeons. Just, you know, obviously it's smart. You can do it. It's free. Strength, intelligence, sure, good. That's probably the two stats I care about at this level. Oh, wrong one. Somewhere. There it is. So, especially if you want to change the augments in it, this is definitely the best armor for the Death Knight. I mean, you could theoretically... No. There's no way you use the Genji helmet. Because this is 3 elements, that's good, but you don't have death protection or anything, right? So, I think the idea is if you've got a ribbon on the Death Knight and you don't have anyone else that needs it, you could just overwrite those crystals. They're not that important. and put in whatever you want, either absorb or M defense or evade. I'd say absorb is probably better on New Game Plus. We could have 54 absorb dragon armor. 20 more absorb is probably better than 200 HP. A hazarded guess. Might as well loot all this stuff while we're here anyway, but it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I mean, having the extra HP barrier is handy. You know, having massive pool of HP. Does this work on? I don't know if I've ever tried this on robots. It totally works. I guess this proves that they have souls. Like we've learned, right? There's level 50. We got nothing. Let's we need to steal some life. Maybe we steal life from the blue dragon. That makes sense? Give me your HP. Yeah, that works. Okay. This is not as strong as Samurai, but it's not bad. It's not bad. Bane Sword, I don't care. I don't need any more ribbons. I know where the Great Sword is, I remember. I don't think the Buster Sword will be worth it, but we might as well look at its stats. Especially because we have the Engineer. We could try to fix it if it seems viable. You know, Knight, Evil Man, basically a Death Knight. That's what we are, so we have to kill him. There can be only one. It is the original D&D Death Knight. Oh, he did. I totally remembered which chest it was in. I knew the room, at least. So... I keep switching which weapon I have equipped. I mean, they kill everything so well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. I mean, they're both really good. It's almost like you can't even tell the difference, honestly. The Coral Sword is no longer useful. We've already killed Kraken. Until we do Final Dungeon. But yeah, here you go. Base 20 crit, which means 2 Bolt Ore gets it to 30. But it has 2 less swings, approximately, for 30 damage. I don't know about that. 30 damage for 2 less attacks. But you could have the same crit rate. And, maybe. 63. 93 damage. If only you could get to level 52. Because then you'd get another swing. You need 128. We can't do that. That would also take 2 crystals or augments to get us over 128 as well. And then you're not getting any crit bonus. I mean, 20 is still very good. I mean, if you don't have an engineer to forge, you don't have that access anyway. But this is a very powerful weapon. Like, 93 damage is bonkers. Keeping in mind that if an enemy is blinded, you get extra hits as well. So, low hits, high crits, and base damage kind of synergize with our bonus accuracy on blinded targets anyway. Oh, I remember you. I remember you. Just needed a couple more levels, right? Not that we're having any shortage of overpowered weapons at this point in the game. So this is my crit weapon. Didn't insta-kill the sentry, unfortunately. They are pretty tanky. We just needed better crits. 1400 would have done the job. So yeah, we're not, like, reliably one-shotting things with this. It is possible that the other weapons are a little better. I don't know. What do you think the chances are of getting sniped on the bridge? I didn't do a hard reset, so they're not that high. We hit our HP cap. So I think 1199, unless it's just happens to be the way it worked out, I think the way the Genji armor is likely to work is it doesn't change your base HP maximum, it just adds 200 over 9999 possibly. So if you have the Genji armor equipped and the rest, you could get up to 1499. Yeah, that's probably the max. That makes some sense. And then you could still, you definitely could, bubble, I think, to get over 2,000. That would be kind of insane. But you need an engineer, a green mage, and I guess someone with like a time mage if I didn't do float shenanigans, or someone with dark, I would say. Yeah, I'm thinking of another group for later, a normal composition. I will go Dragon Slayer on this one just because that's the build. I think that'll wreck. I feel pretty confident this will wreck it. Let's just attack. 1,000 damage, not bad. 1,400 damage, yeah, that'll do. Okay, we're an hour and 10 minutes in, and we're gonna end the episode here. Well, should I? Or yeah, because I'm having to fight, because I'm not rappelling through Topher, it will definitely take a while, and we might legitimately still die and have to retry a couple times. So I'll get my preps figured off camera. There might be a couple things I still change around anyway. Final decisions for armor. I mean, I'm still just using Mithril for gloves and stuff, but I don't think there's anything better. The question is just, do I want to maximize absorb, or do I have other stats that are more important? I mean, honestly, holding on to this for Tia 2 and Lich, or Kraken 2, I could bring a Spellcaster Slaying one for, like, I could easily buy another Onyx Greatsword and put Spellcaster Slaying in it, and that would be extra effective against Lich and Carry. Plus, there is one more Greatsword in the final dungeon that we need the Thief to go pick up. So we got a couple more things to do, technically. And I actually want to try to test out this Darkness. I've never had this do anything, but we're going to get the final sword, and then we're going to use it. And I'll probably buy the rest of my spells. I've got lots of money. So I've got a little bit of prep to do. But honestly, Death Knight is looking pretty darn strong, even on New Game Plus with no repels. With some luck maxing so that running is better. That's the big difference, I think. Auto run like, I remember the Dark Knight solo. The running chance was just so bad. It's so much, the game is so much better, like, fun-wise, when you don't have to worry about failing to run so badly. Like, I think if I was in charge, I don't know exactly how I would change it, but I would definitely tweak the run formula to favor the player more. Now, I understand solo is not the same balance as 4-person, but I think if all 4 characters choose to run, you should generally escape in one round. Maybe not at the beginning of the round. Maybe it's guaranteed, but at the end of the round, like, you could do like a delay, like a anti-priority, whatever it's called, like a Pokemon delay or something. Or just random order, but the odds are at least higher than 50%. Maybe more like the 60% range, 60-70% range minimum. And then sure, like the Thief should just be you always run. Some of the other classes, like Bard and stuff, I would say, like, if more classes had like a guaranteed run, or at least nearly guaranteed. Smoke Bomb is still unique because it gets you out of unrunnables. But there are so many fights that are unrunnable by design that you cannot run ever outside of Smoke Bomb, that the normal encounters you can run from, I think you should just be able to run from them most of the time. I think that's probably how I would want to do it, because it actually makes the game a lot better. Like, it's like it's easier, I agree, but I would rather the enemies hit you harder or cast spells on you or did other nasty things than you got stuck and could never run. Because just sitting there and watching the enemies wail on you while you fail to run, get stunned, can't do anything, fail to run, get stunned. Like, that is, like, the worst part of FF1, really, I think. And the more we can do to prevent that, the more fun Renaissance will be, in my opinion. Like, not getting stun locked in solo or group format, not getting stuck in a run-fail loop. And, like, it's okay that some jobs are worse at running than others. Like, that's fine. But I think the worst runner should still be like 50%. And Death Knight, well, it's more like 10%. So So unless you luck max, even I guess once you eat the bats, it's not too bad. But like a Dark Knight where you can't eat the bats, like Ice Cave, literally like 10-15% run chance. It's just not gonna work. So in a group, it's not as bad, but like you shouldn't have to be too. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I want to reward people for bringing ninjas and bards and other fast characters. Like that's fine. I think maybe my idea is then the faster jobs should reward you with preemptive strikes and preventing ambushes, but everyone should be pretty good at running. Leave running alone. Just let everyone be okay at running away, basically, and let the start of battle, the ambushes, the preemptives, that maybe is determined by the class agility and the class whatever you want to call that, skills and priorities, preferences. Anyway, I should probably end here. I'm rambling a little bit, but yeah, I'm having fun, actually. Honestly, I am having more fun with my pseudo-solo but failed Death Knight run. Like, I really think the inability to deconstruct the thief stolen items was a real letdown, and then the general engineering can't get ores without using them in battle. There was a bunch of mechanical failures on the pseudo-solo, which maybe was a bit of a letdown in the early set, but just simply luck maxing and at least having access to the thief searches and some of the augments from engineer, once we got that online, it's still pretty cool. I think there's a couple things that didn't quite work, but luck maxing, thumbs up, and more than I ever thought it would. I mean, it was bugged in the vanilla game. It didn't, well, sort of bugged. Whatever. The point is, luck barely mattered in the base game anyway. I think once you had like 16 or 17 luck, it's high enough. So at that point, you just run. But now that having 50, 60 luck actually makes a difference, just the flexibility of running when you need to is really good. And even when you don't need to, just ending the battle quickly to move on is like, unless you want to include some sort of auto victory mechanic when the enemies are too weak, letting you just choose to skip fights that are not worth your time, that's a good gameplay mechanic. At least as far as I'm concerned. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm not the same kind of player. I think it's like respecting time. Like, I prefer when the game doesn't waste my time. I'm fine with challenges and hard things, and I waste tons of time. It's okay, but it's my choice to waste the time. When it's the game saying, no, you must sit here and do nothing with no progress while some stun dead stun you, or you fail to run from an ogre, and you just can never run, even though there's nothing stopping you from killing the ogre. It just, you've got a 20% chance to run, you'll never get away, so just waste some more time to get basically nothing, you know? Like, I feel like modern RPGs don't do that very often anymore, and this is kind of a thing from the NES and Super Nintendo era. But I think I'd be curious. I almost want to do like a case study on the running, the flee chants from RPGs, especially the Final Fantasy series, because they're related. But I feel pretty confident that the Super Nintendo run chants, for one, you just press LR and you immediately have everyone running. It's an ATB system is different than turn-based, but you can just you can toggle it on at any time. It takes a little while. I don't know how the math actually works out. Like, I don't actually know the mechanics for those games, but I feel like generally running away is pretty automatic and pretty quick, let alone once there's spells that just do it. I think in FF5, like, the thing we can do with a limit break on a ninja, you could just use as a skill. I think even the thief might get it, actually. It's an early job. And you can just escape any battle, basically, for the click of a button. I kind of think Time Mages might have something like that, too. So, like, I feel like it didn't take very long in the RPG history to kind of make running away kind of easy anyway. And I think in modern games, like, if you are allowed to run from fights, you generally just say, I don't want to fight, and you stop fighting. You know, there's not really a chance to flee. It's just like, yeah, I don't want to do this fight, I'm out. And that's fine. Because I think that's probably better for the player. It might not be, like, fair in terms of the lore and world building and realism and stuff like that. You know, oh, how dare you run away from the air elemental? It's faster than you. Is like, I have that problem in D&D when I'm dungeon mastering and playing too, because it's very hard in tabletop RPGs for the party to, as a group, decide to run away. And when you're in initiative order taking turns, successfully run away from enemies is actually very difficult. Usually someone gets left behind or is last, and then they die. So the whole group running as a whole is difficult, and there's lots of enemies that just have more movement speed than your party. So if, like, let's say an air elemental with something like 80 movement speed, it wants to chase after your 30 movement speed human, you'll never get away. Like, it's impossible. They can move and hit you every single turn if you want. So unless you can hide somewhere, there's some creative solutions maybe, but in general, if you're just looking at strictly speed, and they can fly too, so add that in there as well. There are lots of enemies you could just never escape from in stuff like D&D. And in the real world, like, are you going to outrun the tiger that's hunting you? Nope. So better find a way to fight or do something. You're never outrunning a bunch of wild animals either. But, like, that's realistic, but I don't know if it's fun. It doesn't respect my gamer time. Anyway, am I respecting your gamer time? Leave a comment if you enjoyed the conversation. I know I'm not really playing the game, I'm just talking about the game. But I mean, what is Let's Playing besides talking about games and playing them sometimes? That's all we do. Thanks for watching, folks. Next time we beat the game and talk about it some more. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great day.